there guys, it's Sus, and I gotta ask the question, how has Pokemon endured so well? So the other day I was playing Pokemon Omega Ruby, and when I got to the end of the game, and when I say the end of the game I mean the second ending, not the bit where it says the end, you know, giant space tentacles and everything, and when I put the 3DS down for its 17th charge that day, I realised I didn't remember a single fucking thing about the game. Except for the things that everyone remembers about every Pokemon game, like I got 8 badges, I beat the Pokemon League, and there was a team of some kind and animals that fight for you. But that aside, because let's face it, I just summed up about every Pokemon game ever released thus far, ignoring the stupid shit that came out for the N64, like Hey You Pikachu and Pokemon Snap. But let's take a look at the game with my mature eyes, because I know a lot of children play Pokemon, but I was there in the beginning, bitches, and one of my most prized possessions is in fact my Gen 1 Charizard card, and I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent here because I want to boast a bit. Back in the day when Pokemon card game was released in the UK, Charizard was the rarest card available, and I went to the store shortly after my birthday, money in hand, and decided not to get those stupid pre-made starter decks with a guaranteed shiny card, so I bought about 20 booster packs. And I went through all of them in the car on the way home. And the very first pack I opened, the very top card, the first one I ever saw, was Charizard. I was the king at my school for about a week. But I digress. Now, I've played a lot of Pokemon games, from the original card game to the red and blue versions on the Game Boy, and yes, I have the yellow version, which was based a lot more on the anime, and even the 3D versions on the N64 and the 3DS. And aside from the above-mentioned memorable formula, and it is a formula, they trot it out every time they make a new game, people haven't gotten bored of it. Or at least, not bored to the point of not playing the games anymore. So we have to look deeper into these games. So let's start with the most obvious thing. Is it that people just like seeing these creatures? Not just for the battles, but because they look cute or something? Granted, there have been some amazingly well-designed and indeed redesigned creatures to find, capture and train, but let us not forget, there have been some piss-poor attempts, like the ice cream, that's final form is just a double-headed ice cream, or the one that's, let's be honest, just a trash bag. They say they've had these creatures designed since the very beginning, but some of them do stink of last thing on a Friday afternoon. I mean, it is fun, I suppose, but if it's that one thing propping Pokemon up is just a parade of cute creatures, explain why it needed to be an RPG and not just a hunting game. Now let's consider the RPG about Pokemon. It's kinda shitty when you get down to it. The story is probably designed to be forgettable because it's written so badly and unlike other RPGs like Skyrim or Zelda, you're not a chosen hero or special magical being, you're just some fuck, doing exactly the same as every other bastard on the planet. And it just so happens you turned up at the right place at the right time when you did. But if we ignore the role of this role-playing game, the mechanics are what I think reels people in. Unlike other RPGs, you don't level up as a character, you level up the creatures you have in tow. And with 18 different varieties at present, if players want to get the most out of the game, that's a lot of leveling. But the leveling in the Pokemon games is pretty quick, but it's not so fast as to be pointless. Clearly the devs have worked hard to make the reward to the player come from enough work to keep them going, but also rack up the difficulty in a proportionate manner. And it's this ratio of time to reward that keeps players hooked. It's what all RPGs, and even more so for MMOs, use to keep people playing. But on another level, that can't be all that keeps us buying these games, and indeed the consoles that play them. Let's talk about the most infectious thing in these games, the goddamn music! Granted, the first games in this saga were released for the Game Boy Color, and as such graphics were not exactly Turner Prize worthy, so the music kinda had to be catchy, and it kinda had to carry it. I mean, if you were a kid with a Game Boy Color in school, you prove to me you don't remember the Pokemon Center music. Do 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 do. 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 Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. It burrows into your brain and takes up space forever. And when you're trying to do something important, that's when the music comes back. It's like crack taken in by the ears. But you always feel better once you hear it, and it gets better and better with the improvements in hardware, and the music gets remastered, but it keeps the essential elements. The only other reason I can see for the success of the Pokemon games is the competitive aspect. Even back in the day, where everyone did the cheat to get infinite rare candies and blast the little critters up to level 100, thus removing any form of challenge the game may present on its own, we battled each other, and it all came down to each person's playstyle and individual knowledge and skill. But now cheating isn't quite as easy. You can't just exploit a part of the game which multiplies item quantity or adding a Game Shark code, but the competitive side of the game has been increased exponentially by the inclusion of online battle systems. So now, it's not just limited to your local community. You can sit on the toilet in Birmingham and battle someone in Rome and no doubt get your ass flattened by Pokemon you haven't seen yet, because let's face it, there's millions of the little fuckers now, so it's near impossible to remember what type every single bastard is and to plan which of your team has the best chance of survival, but again, I digress. So, if you're a Pokemon fan, I'd love to know what keeps you playing. And let me know in the comments below. Was it something I touched on, or was it something I've completely overlooked? Because there's gotta be something special about this series. So, thank you all for watching, and as always, I've been Silas. I'm looking forward to the comments on this one, and I will see you next time.